In this video, I'm finna be doing a low taper, kind of like a mid taper, somewhere in between up. But I'm finna be giving y'all the whole rundown. I'm finna let y'all know the products. I'm finna let y'all know my enhancements. I'm just finna let y'all know the whole nine. Like, make sure that you locked in and you paying attention, especially if you're a new beginner barber. These some good tips I'm finna put on y'all. This free game, man. You can't miss it. Make sure you locked in, man. Let's get to it.
Something you won't lock in with us, I thought you knew that. My blood drove the load in.
Whenever I start a haircut or whenever I start a lineup, whatever it is, I always want to make sure I'm using my comb so them clippers can go through smoothly on my client's hair. I went in with that 1.5 on my Babyliss Pro faders. I felt like it was too dark, so I ended up using that one closed level, and I just started knocking everything down. When I'm cutting into my client's hair, I always want to make sure that I'm going with the grain, and I just want to let the clipper do the cutting for me, really. I don't want to do much. I just want to follow the clipper in the pattern. Whenever I cut into my tapers, I always like to do more like a rainbow-like shape, just so I can get that taper a little bit of a burst. And whenever I create my guideline, I never want to make it too harsh to where I can't fade it out with my faders. Now I want to go in with my Babyliss Pro faders, and I just want to start creating a second guideline with no guard. And I want to make sure I go up at about an inch. Whatever side I'm fading, I always want to make sure I get out of detail. And then if I miss something, I always come back in the end and I fix it anyway, and I always add more detail because I just always want the fade to come out crispy and blurry. Now I'm using that 1.5 guard, and I'm just hitting at the top where all that bucket. I want to see a nice transition coming into this fade. Now I'm using that one guard, and I'm just fading lightly. I'm not pressing into their hair, I'm just fading lightly, and I'm trying to use my corners to soften up that guideline so I can give it that nice look that I'm going for. This is something that I do just to straighten the hair out in a fade, just to give it more detail. The guard that I'm using on my Babyliss Pro is the Wahl 1/16. It fit on the clipper, and I like to use it just to blend it a little bit more, just to give it detail. Once I take the guard off, I like to use no guard, and I just want to do level play. Open guard, close guard, anything to get that bottom guideline to disappear. Then I like to grab my Babyliss FX faders, and I want to repeat that same process that I just did with my Babyliss Pro faders. My fading technique a little different, and it take a little longer, but I never trip because I feel like that detail is real important on that fade. To finish this side completely, I like to go in with my liners, and I just want to start hitting at the bottom of that guideline just so I can give it a nicer transition. I want to make sure that fade got that pop to it. Now I want to go in with my faders, and I just want to hit at the top of the beard so I can give it a nice transition too. Now I'm starting to get into the back of the fade, and I want to go in, and I just want to create that first guideline, and I just want to repeat the same exact steps that I did on the side. When I go in and create that second guideline, I always want to do it at about an inch or a half an inch, just so I can give it nice separation in between that bottom guideline and the top of that second guideline where that buck is, so it can all come together in the end. Whenever I fade into the buck, I always want to try to use the corners of my blade just because it'll help me get it a nice transition. It'll help me give it a better look on that fade that I'm going for. Now I want to go in with that 0.5, and I just want to copy the exact same steps that I've been doing until I see this transition. If it's one thing that I recommend y'all do, is to use that 1/16 on that Babyliss Pro fader, because I just feel like it just be helping with that detail, and it's going to get that guideline and all that book up out of there. It's going to get you right every time. Now I'm going in and I'm just using level play. I'm open guard, close guard. I'm just using them corners and I'm making the clipper work for me. I'm just letting it flow. Now it's time for me to real life hop in my bag, man. I gotta let you know how I'm coming behind this lining. And I'm using that got to be glue. But it really don't matter what you use, because at the end of the day, they all do the same thing. Whenever I start off with a lining, I like to work my way from one side to the other side. And I wanna make sure that I got my corners looking real crisp before I add any enhancements. You always want to make sure your lining is crisp before you add any enhancements. Should nobody have to tell y'all that. That's why a lot of people go home and they be mad when they wash their hair and then they be like, the enhancements fell off, you don't need, look like I got a cut. Whenever you lining somebody up, make sure you combing that lining as you lining them up, so you know that your lineup is good with no enhancements. I didn't get my blade set. A lot of people ask me that, do I get my blade set? No, I don't, because they already come 0 gap. So there's no point in me trying to 0 gap me more. I just do what I do. I went back in through the end and I started working on that detail just so I can have that fade and that line that look exactly how I want. I want to make sure that it come out perfectly. Now I'm going in with my Tune 45 spray. I got this from Get Beam. It's his product. A lot of people ask me this for sure, what I use. So if you watch this video, then you good. You just got free game. Now you know what I use. And if you ain't watched it, you owe it. I'm not going to tell you until you watch this video. Now I'm going in with my pencil and I'm just putting light lines in there. I want to make sure that I can give it that contrast look, just so I can make this cut look even more sharper than what it is. But it's already sharp, but I just like to add that little extra to it, just so I can give it that little pop. When I turn them, that line, it looks so perfect. This what I mean when I say I be in my bag, man. Once I got that barber pencil applied, I want to grab my edges and I just want to go in, blend in the pencil in. I want to give it that contrast look. If you sit through and you watch this whole 8-minute video, you the realest. I appreciate you. And if you want more tutorials, just let me know. Comment in that comment section below. And yeah, man, I appreciate you for getting through this whole cut. Sometimes my clients come in looking rough, but I never panic under that pressure because I know how I'm really coming. And if this video helped you out, man, follow me on the ground and let me know if you want me to drop any more tutorials, man. We out.
Locked in with us, I thought you knew that. My blood drove the load in on